Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I got a request to do this red updo pinup hairstyle. So if you do want to see how I did it step by step, keep on watching. So I did get this from Jaydawayda herself, and I'm going to insert a clip of exactly what I was trying to go for. Now, as you can see, she had a blonde wig. I have a red one, so
do the best I can with what I got. Oh!
we gonna make this work. So the first things you want to make sure you have all of your products. I use Got to Be. I also use a rectail comb. Oil sheen is optional but recommended. You want some clips. You want some regular bobby pins. And you also need stick pins as well. And you need your rubber bands and scrunchie. And this is your hair wax stick and a wide tooth comb as well. You want to make sure that your wig is secure to a wig head. And I'm just basically combing everything out, kinks and everything. I got this on the Sephora VIB sale, the T3, and it is everything. But of course you can use any type of curling iron. Just make it a 1-inch barrel. So you want to start by parting off your hair and the back. You want to make sure that you're doing this in sections because this is going to give you the best result. So what I basically did was start my lower section just straight across. It doesn't have to be ridiculously perfect, but you do want to make it as best as you can. I'm just combing out all the kinks or, making sure that there's no tangles. And I'm just taking my barrel and I'm going to go ahead and curl it. You want to make sure that you're holding on to your hair while you're curling it so it doesn't spread everywhere and then you don't get a uniform curl, because we do want these to be uniform. And you want to make sure that you're rolling it as many times as you can until you get toward the bottom. And it's very imperative that you turn your curling iron sideways and hold it in your hand for a little bit. Take your Got to Be or whatever holding spray you decide to use, and then hold it roughly about 10 seconds, let it go. This is to ensure that the curl does not lose its form. Some people do pin it. I'm not going to do all of that. So I just hold it for about 10 seconds while it's still hot. And I'm just basically doing this again with this curl. So remember, you want to keep rolling it. Spread it down, roll it, spread it down until you get toward the end. And then you're going to hold that there for roughly about 5 to 7 seconds. Tilt your curling iron, drop the curl right into your hand, and you're going to put very lightly again some holding spray or your Got to Be, and you're going to hold that curl for about 10 seconds. Now, I didn't do this here, but you want to take your index finger and kind of twirl the curl around it. So as you see, I went back to the first curl and did the same thing. This is imperative only because it makes the curl look like a spiral instead of a uniform Shirley Temple curl. So I'm going to basically split these up, and I'm going to basically do it 2 more times. I'm doing the same exact thing as I did with the other 2. So I think you got the gist of it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with the last part, and then I'm going to continue with the rest of my sections. So what you see here is I basically did 2 sections of the exact same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and take this big part out. I'm going to get my hairs in the front taken out first before I go back and do the remaining 2 sections. And this is basically to ensure that I don't get the front pieces mixed up with all of the other curls, because we're going to curl this a different way. So I'm just going down vertically. As you can see, you just want to take a little bit, and then I'm going to push the rest of the hairs back, and I'm going to do that on both sides. Now that that is done, I'm just going to go ahead and go back in and do the remaining 2 sections. So I'm just going to split it horizontally just like I did the back, and I'm going to curl the rest. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my old sheen. I'm done the entire head, and just spray so I can have some shine. This part you want to be very careful. I'm not taking out the curls roughly. I'm being very delicate because you don't want to take out all the curls. I'm kind of just being sporadic to where I separate them, and I only separate them like maybe once, and that's about it. So now what I'm going to do is just push the rest of this back. Make sure that you're not following your comb all the way through. You're just going to push it back a little bit just so you can separate the small part. You want to take your hair wax, and then you're going to go all the way from left to the right, making sure that you slick the hair down so you don't have any flyaways. And then just take your curling iron and then just make sure it's pressed down with heat. So now here comes the fun part. You're going to separate your hair in a half. Make sure that it's equal hair on the bottom and equal hair on the top. And then you're basically going to be putting this up in a ponytail. So as you see, I'm making sure that my sides are not all over the place or any hairs are sliding down. But you want to make sure you're not following your comb all the way through. This is why you want a wide tooth comb, because it's not going to disrupt your curls. Either do your ponytail low like that. I think Jada has hers low. I think Tay made hers a little bit lower. However, I wanted mine's higher because I like my curls to kind of cascade in my face a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do mine's a little bit higher, and it's basically right on the top of my head. Then what I'm going to do is take my black rubber bands. You want to make sure you use 2 because it's more durable. And I'm going to just place this right in a ponytail. You didn't have to twist it. I did because I twist the head around. But you just want to make sure you put it in a secure ponytail. You want to take the remaining part, and from here you're going to section off little pieces of hair at the very bottom, as you can see here. This is to cover up any type of the wig that you may see, because I have a closure. And then you're going to basically take the remaining part, with the exception of the little hairs you just pulled out, and you're going to take it and put it to the side of your first ponytail. So you're going to make a ponytail and then wrap it around the side, just like this. And Jada had a French roll in the back. I can't do a French roll, so this was easier for me. And then you're going to take your scrunchie now, and you're going to place both ponytails into the scrunchie. So now you're basically going to have one ponytail. And so now what I'm doing is I'm taking out extra hairs, and this is so I can hide any of the track from my wig. And then I'm basically looking all around my wig to make sure that there's no track or no additional lace that is showing. And if it is, you just want to take some hairs out so you can camouflage it. So here I'm just pulling the ponytail taut, and I'm taking out pieces and twirling it around my finger just so I can bring the curls back and separate it. You want to do this as much as you feel the need to. So I'm not going to do the front any longer, pulling out the curls and twirling them, because I want to go ahead and do the smaller pieces in the front. So you're going to section them off in two. You only need to section them off in two. You're going to take your barrel. You're going to do the same curling technique that you did for the rest of the head. The only difference is how you release it. So you're going to do the same thing. Make sure you follow through, twirl, follow through, twirl. And then without moving the clamp, you're just going to twirl your hair down, and when you get to the end, you're going to release the clamp. So I hope that makes sense. I'll go ahead and show you again. So you're going to wrap the hair around the barrel, follow through, wrap it again, follow through, and you want to continue to do that until you're at the very end. Then wrap it all the way up. And this one, you're going to twist your wrist upward, and then you're going to cascade the curl down. So if you see, I twist, cascade, 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 then I release the clamp. And so I'm going to show this top one more time. And this way is because you want the front of the hair to kind of give you like a swoop. And so when you twist your wrist, that'll give you the swoop. So now I'm going back in and I'm taking apart my ponytail again. Once you take it apart, make sure you twirl the curls around your finger. I'm also taking the front pieces apart, just in the ones or twos, that's it. And then I'm going to take the rectail comb and I'm going to pull out the swoop a little bit, and then take my curls and I'm going to finger them back. So this way you have like a little swoop, and then at the end you have your curls. And I'm just taking the top of it, and we're going to go ahead and give some height. So this is where the stick bobby pins come in. I'm just going to take my fingers and kind of go in to the ponytail. So I'm basically taking the stick pin, putting it at the root and twirling it so it can give it a little bit of height. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I like a little height on the top of my ponytail. And then the back, I'm able to show you a little bit more. So I'm just kind of taking it with my hand, taking the stick pin, twirling it at the root, and then I am sticking it in the root. So I'm kind of twirling a little bit of hair with it and then sticking it at the root, and this is going to give it height. And I'm also going to do this in the top of the middle and do the same. And that's basically what it comes to. So now you want to go ahead and take your holding spray and spray it very lightly. Do not drench with your holding spray. You don't want it to be hard. And that's going to be the final look. If you have any questions or if you need anything explained or I didn't explain it well, please make sure you drop all of your questions into the comment section and let me know what you maybe want to see next. Bye.